Let's make some bubbles. So a couple of years ago, this video went viral on most platforms, but it's only 5 or 6, 7 seconds long. So I got a few comments asking, please, can you make a slower version of this? It's too fast. So here it is for you, a slower video where I will talk you through how I'm doing this, also what can go wrong and what you can do about it. So let's go. The key to getting a really nice result is to plan your painting and prepare. Prepare yourself, prepare your paints, and prepare the paper. So I will begin with the paints. I rarely clean my palette, but I will do so today, just removing whatever I used before because I want clean, vibrant colors. Okay, so I want to remove this brown, black, and almost everything. I will keep the purple and the blue because I will use it. Now, I sprayed the paints because I need to activate them. I need the pigments, I scrub them loose, and I mix it with a tiny amount of water. Because in these bubbles, there is a lot of color, but I also add a lot of water when I am painting them, which means the paint will get diluted. So I use as much pigment as I possibly can in these little puddles. Preparing the paints will take some time, just get used to it. I do them one at a time, make sure that the yellow paint is separated from the others so that it doesn't get contaminated by darker colors. So as little water as possible, lots and lots of pigment. So I'm gonna show you also how I prepare with the paint straight from the tube, because these are all tube paints, but they have been in the palette for a while and therefore dried. But I also use, as you can see, this is the pink Opera Rose straight from the tube, so I take a tiny amount of that with my brush. And same procedure, adding a few drops of water just to make the paint fluid. I try and keep the rich color of this one, so I will add some more because this isn't enough for the painting. All the paints I'm using, they are from the brand Winsor Newton, a very reliable brand. And this is from their professional quality. They also have a studio quality, which is very good as well. And now it's time to prepare the paper. Today I'm using this one from Ars. I remove the paper. Since this one is not glued on all four sides, I will have to keep it flat in some other way. So I wet the back of the paper first with water. And that's just to make the paper stick to this acrylic board, so I just flip it over. Now normally when I'm just painting for fun, I don't prepare the paper this much. I just start and paint on the dry surface. But in this case, I need a little more time. When I add paint on the paper, I don't want it to dry too quickly. So I want some moisture inside of the paper, and I can get that by doing this. So I wet the paper through and through, and then I cut the video here. So I just let it sit for a few minutes, and then I wipe off the surface. Then I will get, this paper will be dry on the surface, but still moist inside. That means that whatever paint I put on this surface, it will take a longer time to dry. So it's very good if I need to do something and I need some extra time to do that. This paper is it has a satin finish, so it's hot pressed, it's completely smooth. In the viral video, I used this small egg cup. I will also try this glass today so you can see the difference. Now I have this sable brush. It holds a lot of water and I prepare it because it has to be ready for when I paint. I noted there was a dry corner on this one, so I sprayed the backside just to help it sink down a bit. Now, it's been over 2 years since I did this short video, since I painted this. I haven't done it since, so I'm trying to remember how I did this. I put all the different colors quite close to each other. It's hard because they tend to just run around the palette wherever they want to go. But the thing is, I need to dip this egg cup and get some of all the colors on it. So I think this was the most difficult part of it. Because I don't want to mix the colors. They still have to be separated. If they mix, I will get mud. It will look brown or grey and not very fun. Now fill the brush and I add it inside of the circle, not straight on, because then I can sneak up on the color and just let it bleed out. Now I noticed right away that the puddles that I mixed could have more pigment. I would have liked them to have more pigment because then I could get more color straight away. But it's okay to take a smaller brush, dip it in the paint and add some extra. So I will do that. So this was the first try. It's okay. It's not perfect and it's fine. And that's a part of the preparation. You have to do this a few times before you can make a viral video, okay? You have to let yourself practice this. So make one, and now I'm going to try to actually add the paint with a brush on the glass. And I remember trying this before and I didn't get good results, but I'm going to try it again because it was a long time ago. And I noticed straight away the paint is running down on the inside. But I continue. I will do it. And as you can see, between each color I clean the brush, otherwise I will get mud. So that also takes some time. Now, I let the glass sit for a while since it ran down to the bottom. Fill my brush with water and go straight in. Oh, it's okay. But the colors are way too weak for my taste. So I will have to do the same again and add some extra color in. If you just want to practice this technique and don't mind the colors, because that takes a lot of time, you can just use one color. And dark blue is a very nice one to begin with, because the blues are often very fluid and easy to move. Not ultramarine, but the other ones, phthalo blue, cobalt, indigo, Winsor blue, those colors are very nice to work with. That one starts to look like a planet of some kind. But I still think this is too light. And in order to fix that, I have to add more pigment to my puddle. Although it looks very, very dark, it's not that dark, it's too much water. So what I do here is just adding more pigment. And I cut the movie. I removed probably a minute or so. Now it looks almost completely black. And I would do the same thing again. Speaking of black, you see my sponge here. It was once orange yellow. Now it's completely black because I used it for so long. Preparing the brush. Trying not to drip blue over everything. And as you can see, I'm very fast with my brush and the water. because if the paint starts to dry on the paper before I get there with my water, it will not burst this way. So I try to be quick. There we go, much better. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, or if there is something you want me to record, something you want me to show you in regards to watercolor painting, please ask me in the comments. You will also find me on Instagram. So, greetings from Sweden. I hope you have a nice day, or evening, or night.